It's been a minute since I've done a video, so I just want to give you a quick update on what's going on with Project 40. Last night, I became proficient in yet another skill. And what that skill is, lockpicking. I've got my lockpicking kit here, so let's get to it. Today's video is what I learned in my first foray into lockpicking. After reading and understanding the mechanics of the lock and the mechanics of lockpicking, it took me maybe 10 minutes to really become proficient at picking this particular type of lock. Now, to the uneducated, which was me as of last night, there are several different types of locks, so there may be more videos to follow, but I'm just going to walk you through the process of picking this simple padlock with a single pin method. I stepped away from the jumpsuit and moved to my Master Spy outfit. So this is the outfit that I imagine I will be wearing when I actually implement in real life the skills that I've mastered in lockpicking. I'm imagining myself on some kind of heist, a diamond heist maybe a coke heist, not white coke, but acquiring the secret formula for coke. And these locks are really cool because you can peel away the plastic here and see the full workings of the lock. All right, so what you have here are basically two sets of pins. The top part here is what is called the driver pins, and these are what's actually keeping the round part of the lock in place, which is referred to as the plug. Then within the plug, you have another set of pins, which are called the key pins. So what you do is you use the pick to push up the key pin, which will push up the driver pin, the pins, so they form a straight line here. And that line that they form is called the edge line, at which point you can rotate the plug. It revolves around a combination of tension and finesse and feel. I guess feel falls under finesse. So like I was saying, you have a series of what are called pry bars that you're going to use to apply tension. A tension can be applied to two areas, the bottom or the top. So we're going to apply tension to the top. And as you're applying tension, the driver pins at the top of the lock are going to become wedged between the plug and the housing. AKA the pin that's holding the most tension at the given moment, called the binding pin, that's preventing it from turning. So what I want to do is stick this in here, start with the pin closest to the lock, push that key pin up, that pushes the driver pin above the edge line, at which point you're applying just enough tension to turn the plug a little bit more, catching the next pin, which will become the binding pin. You put too much tension on the plug, you're not going to be able to push up the binding pin. Push too little tension, none of the binding pins that you pushed up past the edge line will stay in place. So it is really this process of finding just the right amount of finesse to hold the pins in place. There's actually a better tension bar than this, but I lost it, which is actually my complaint about the lockpicking kit that I purchased. Not necessarily these locks themselves, but the actual kit, is that it's not made very well, and I've lost half the tools of it already. Smith's visual lockpicking course, and in the book it explains the full mechanics of how the lock works. So what I did is I just read through it, understood how it worked mechanically, and then I went through and practiced the finesse, the tension of it, to see how it works practically. So I highly recommend getting this course. A disclaimer is that it actually doesn't come with the tools themselves, so you need to buy that separate. So So what I recommend is practicing a few times with the case off and kind of map what you're seeing happening with the pins to what you're hearing, what it feels like, so you get the touch and sound down. And once you're comfortable picking the lock and you've clearly mapped what you're seeing to what you're feeling and what you're hearing as you're doing this, it comes with the rubber cases that you just put back on top of it. And now you can practice picking the lock blind. There's quite a few different types of locks. So if this is interesting to you, I could make a video of each lock showing you how to pick it, the tricks to it. But if it's not interesting, I'll just do a video of the final end result, which will be like a stress test of me unlocking these different locks under very stressful, harsh conditions. But yeah, if you're here this far in the video, think about subscribing. I would love to have you. I'm looking at myself and I realize that I totally look like someone that knows how to pick locks that you don't want picking your lock.